Hi, this is Christina, the Happy Heretic, and it is time for the first video of the year. Things are neater than I thought they would be at this stage. These are the houseplants that have recently come outside, most of them, or things, perennials that are coming back up. But in here we have, I want to say it's Swiss chard. Yeah, bright lights, Swiss chard. And you can see it's going to be beautiful. It's got bright red and yellow and green. So that looks like ornamental grass that didn't come back. So I'm going to repurpose that pot for something else. These, we started with starts from the store, which are ridiculously expensive. I don't know how people do it, but let's see. What do we have here? Kale and lettuce and spinach. This is the new bed where the canna used to go. I've extended it. The ground here was actually pretty good because I planted in it last year. It's still clay. We still have clay soil, but I have a lot of mulch when I'm ready to plant in it to put down. And in the back there, I want to say calendula and safflower covered with hay. We'll see if it pops up or not. Over here was a nightmare. This was the big canna bed, and also there was a bed right here with peppers and various things. I'd done a hugelkultur here last year. So what I did is I brought in the hay bales that we used in the hay bale garden last year. That's most of the darker stuff. The lighter stuff was in the chicken coop and it had not been used, so I spread it out. And over here is the bed that Paul built last year. There's nothing in this one yet. It's got compost and mulch. And this one is a variety of flowers. We'll see what happens here. But I had so many seed packets of various things, and it was a little bit here, a little bit there. So that's, hopefully this is going to be flowers that will attract the bees and things like that. This hot mess, let's see if I can get let's see, where is it? And there. Little tiny marigolds are coming up. There are some sunflowers in here. I do not know why they didn't germinate. They're germinating everywhere else. So, but the really tall, like the mammoths and some of the other really tall sunflowers are going to go there because I want this area to attract birds and bees and butterflies and things like that. Over here, in this part of the bed, we have red Marconi peppers. Let's see what it was. Yeah, that was the red Marconis, and banana peppers. And I don't see a lot of germination yet, and I'm not sure why. I see some, but not a lot. Where is it? I'm very bad about that. Little bitty things poking their heads out. And in the very back, there's 7 cloves of garlic. I've never grown garlic before. We'll see how that works out. This is the herb bed. I do not think it's gonna last as that because I think it gets too much sun. So I may have to transplant some things. And these are all from last year. So, you know, they all of this overwintered. It's German thyme and Italian oregano and, let's see, flatleaf Italian parsley. So it did really well where it was, but I wanted it to spread out. But I hate to do it, but I think I'm gonna have to transplant it one more time. I have other herbs coming up as seed, hopefully, but I kind of like the fact that they all overwintered as well as they did. The chicken run has been cleaned out, and all that mulch taken to the compost pile. It needs to break down further so it doesn't burn my plants, but it was fantastic. And I'm clearing out, I'm using the lawnmower as a mulching lawnmower, so I'm collecting up all this leaves and pine straw. And last year I just raked it up, and this year I'm mulching it because obviously the more surface area you have, the faster things break down. My hosta is coming back beautifully in the Hushura, which got dirty. but the hosta's coming up nicely. Over here, and it comes up late, but over here is ginger. And it came up late last year and it scared me. I thought it wasn't going to, but it did, and it was stunning. Over here's still a little bit of a mess. We're moving things around because this is where the seedlings will go when they're, well, we're not past first frost, so I don't want to put, you know, watermelons and things like that out here. But I've killed off some weeds, mulched the beds. Oh no, it fell on here. We had 2 starts that we bought. I need to fold that up anyway. And to control the weeds right now, I have cardboard down, but that will change. Let's see. Straight neck squash and I think zucchini. I could be wrong, but they're doing really, really well. And gourds and things like that did well here last year. What did not do well here last year is watermelon. There wasn't enough sun, and pumpkin did not do well. One of the tomato plants did okay, but not really. But because it can vine all the way up, all the gourds and cucumbers did pretty well. Butternut squash did pretty well. Still finding weeds over here, but working on it. This old piece of plastic is drying out, so I can cut it up and use it somewhere else. But it was on the greenhouse and it did not really make it through the winter. But these 2 beds have been completely mulched over. We basically mulched in place, and they are full of worms. And I'll not be able to find one because I just said that. Oh, I was wrong. Like I said, full of worms. Oh, they're fast. Hang on. Try that again because they are really active. There we go. But anyway, all of the hay bales that I mulched in place and the ones that I left in place on the patio from last year, when I say full of worms, I mean crazy full. And same with this one. Any seeds that had sprouted, I've been turning it over and exposing it to the sun. So any seeds that did not sprout last summer should have sprouted by now, because we had a lot of them. And I just come out here and turn them over and expose the roots, and next thing you know, they're dead. So there's really rich. I am so happy with this. It is so black. And yes, there's still uncomposted straw in there. Hay in there, and that's fine. Compost piles. That's the one I've been working on for most of the winter. I don't know if I can show you how tall it is, but it's I don't even want to guess how many pounds that is. It's a lot. This, I always do a quick composting pile because you need things quickly sometimes. And so what that is from the mulching lawnmower, leaves and pine straw, and yes, pine straw compost very well, and grass and the straw and things like that I scooped out of the chicken coop. So it's going to take a couple of weeks, but really not that long because I work my compost really actively. So that's just what I've collected today and yesterday for the fast compost pile, and that is all available pretty much. I'm going to give it another week because I think some of the chicken poop got in there and it's going to be too hot. If I mix it up really well, it'll be okay, but I've got a lot of young plants and I don't want to risk losing the seedlings by burning the roots with a nitrogen source that's strong. This is so funny to me. I didn't have the heart. I cleaned off all the hay bales except this. And all that is a little bit of hay at the bottom. And that's my lemon balm. And it smells amazing. And I pick it pretty often. And it's bushing out nicely. The middle of the 2 patios is a hot mess right now, and I haven't decided what to do. A lot of you know we've been having some foundation problems, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I, just in case, covered it with cardboard because my neighbors, it doesn't disturb them looking crappy like that. No one can see it but me. And I'm deciding because that's such good sun, and I had more peppers than I was just eating them off the plants because I had so many last year that this year I have much more space because of all the beds we built, all the beds Paul built, I should say, and that I have filled up and mulched and composted. But I have to get down here and it's precarious. Okay, so I don't know, things grew so well here with very little. I mean, it was a hugelkultur bed first year. This Paul grew tomatoes in last year, but he put tons of organic material. There were leaves, there were at the bottom, there were leaves, there were sticks, there were all kinds of things. And over the past year, it's all mulched down to being really, if you dig down just the tiniest little bit, look at that. It's fantastic. This is the bed where the sunflowers, well, there were a lot of sunflowers last year, but the dappled sunlight didn't do it for them. Only the ones on the very end here grew at all, and the rest were too weak. And the first good wind we had, I lost all my sunflowers. They just all fell over. They weren't strong enough. So this year on the very end, because this is where one was last year, is a Super Sweet 100 tomato. And obviously we bought it as a start, and it wants to flower. I don't think it liked where it was, but it'll be fine. I'll just pick those off early I want it to grow. So that's pretty much where we are. A lot of things are still messy, but oh, how did I forget my sunflowers? Okay. And up. I'll tell you one thing, I should lose some weight. This is a giant elephant ear that I thought was dead. I thought it was completely rotted out. I didn't realize this is a pot that I got from the dollar store, and I adore it, but it did not have holes in it, and I forgot to put holes in it. So I thought everything had rotted out. I ran out here and dumped it over, but it had already been, it was wintertime and it had been wet for so long. But you don't need much, just a little bit of the root system of the corms, and here we go. So we'll see how that turns out, but it looks like it's gonna do well. And around it will be crackerjack marigolds. We already have a good bit of germination there. So that's gonna be really pretty, because the elephant ear gets really tall, and the marigolds will be beneath it, and it will protect the soil from overheating, drying out, things like that. Down here, that is nasturtium. We'll see how that goes. That's a variety of sunflower I just put in yesterday. But here, 2 or 3 days ago, these are called Sunny Smiles, and they're miniature sunflowers, but they're yellow and happy and perky and really prolific, and they're early bloomers, and they're all coming up, except this pot right here, and I don't know why. What's in there? I did start my gourds. I probably shouldn't have, but I put them in yesterday. This is working out really well. It's a bird cage. So interestingly, the Sugar Daddy snap peas are not coming up. The Blue Lake pole beans, and they're all planted at the same, these were planted at the same time. They're coming up right here. And then this is Ruby Eclipse and Gypsy Charmer sunflowers, and I put them in on 327, and they're doing there we go. And they're doing really well. Sorry, when it was outside, it was trying to focus on the screen. That's Marconi red peppers, and we have them in several places because they're huge and gorgeous, and we want to use them roasted and store some this year. And my California Wonder bell peppers are coming up. The Ruby Eclipse, the Gypsy Charmer, my peas, that's green arrows, are coming up. And they're just babies. My contender bush beans, you can't kill, I don't even know, they're fantastic. And over there in the corner that you probably can't see now is Morning Glory Split Second. The only other thing that's outside that's not in the grow room, my clematis not only made it just fine throughout the winter. This is what Megan, my youngest daughter, gave me for Mother's Day last year. But look, I'm already getting blooms. So I'm really excited about that. So that's what's going on. I'm gonna hopefully do, I've got to make a decision on that cardboard. I don't know. You guys give me some advice. As you can see, I'm out there raking, and I need to get the mower bag because I'm so not finished with the mulching back there. There's just layers of fantastic leaves that I'm not going to let go to waste, but the girls are out because a lot of, I don't let them on the patio anymore, so I'm not worried about the seeds up here. And my green leafies are protected by a fence, which I don't love, but it does let the girls get out. So that's what's going on. Pretty exciting. Lots of good, my Japanese, the one my mom gave me, that was just a little sapling, and it still is, but it's beautiful. It's coming up so well. that elephant ear is coming in nicely. It's only been out for about a week. I know we were already over here. Dusty Miller made it through the winter. Pretty exciting. And my Japanese painted fern is coming back also beautifully. That's Rose Kong that I've had for, this may be my second year. This may be the second time I've overwintered it. So I clipped it back and it's coming in. More Dusty Miller. My Chef Lara. My Wandering Jew that I had been nurturing for 2 years. My girls gave it to me, a whole flat of it in Macon about 2 years ago. And that is all, whole long story, moved, blah, blah, blah. And only a sprig survived, but now it's starting to really do well. And I don't remember what that is, so it's gorgeous and it's huge, and I can't remember what the name of it is. So again, you guys know what it is, let me know. Oh, more herbs. One more, oh, split leaf, no, monstera, right? And that thing right there, and I don't know what that is either. I have all kinds of things I don't know what they are. This is really happy outside though. It's doing much better. I replanted it in this great big huge pot that needs more dirt, and it will get it probably today. So anyway, again, for the third time, I'm really done. Like it if you like it, and subscribe if you want to see what crazy thing I'm up to on any given day. And oh no, I forgot one more thing I have to show my sister. She gave me this last year. And it's leaning over, I don't know why. Oh, it's chasing the sun, I need to turn it. But I wasn't sure it was gonna come back, and it did. Okay, now I really am done. Like it if you like it, and subscribe if you wanna see what crazy thing I'm up to on any given day, and see how this all works out. Bye.